Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beauty with a Purpose with no one but yours truly, Talia Cockburn. So, today's episode is all about how to reduce stress and exhaustion during pageant season. Since pageant season is upon us and it's starting a little early, we're already getting a start. So, I am going to help you just relax a little bit during the pageant season because I know it can be a lot at times and it can get a little overwhelming. So these are just some of my tricks and tips that I have just for the season to roll a little smoother. The first one, debunk your schedule. This is one of my biggest points that I'm going to have during this episode. It helps so much. Even if it's a festival pageant, you can still, even if it's a festival pageant, you can start it from that morning all the way until it's over. So, example, say the pageant is Saturday. You can start your schedule, what you have to do when you wake up, and then what time do you have to be there. Make sure hair and makeup is done if you need to do that. Make sure your dress is ironed, steamed, whatever outfits you need. Make sure you have them and then that they're packed in the car, and then by the time you get there, all you have to do is show up and you just practice whatever, just so you can have a little less on your plate. And say if it's more of a bigger scale pageant like National American Miss, still take it day by day, hour by hour. I literally break down all of my schedules that I get whenever it's time for NAM. So breaking it down into days, say it starts Monday. If you have an optional, write it down. If you have rehearsals, write it down. Everything that you have in that day, write it down, write the times. It helps a ton. It just keeps you more organized, and it just relieves a little of the stress of not having to rush all the time. Speaking of, always arrive early. Always arrive early. I would say always leave room for any kind of, because you never know what to expect. So always just arrive early. I remember one time, literally during the finale of NAM, my dress had these beads on the side of my arm, and one of the little shoulder pieces fell off, and a lady literally had to stitch it back. I love that lady to death. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, she was a lifesaver. She sewed it back. I literally was just sitting there and she sewed it back for me. So that's why it's important to be early. Just in case something happens, you're early and you still have time. I literally was just sitting there, and then by the time she was done, we still didn't even start yet. We still had like 5 minutes. So it's always important to be early. Next thing, prep gowns the night before. Always prep gowns the night before. It's easier, it's faster, and if you run into any mishaps, it's the night before. You have more time to find a solution rather than you getting up and doing it that morning. And yeah, when you prep your dress the night before, I think that it looks better when it gets on stage and you just hang it up and you let the wrinkles fall after you iron, if there's still any. By the time morning comes, they're out. And then if you need to, you can touch your dress back up in the morning, and it just looks much better on stage. That is always one of my biggest tips. Always iron your dress. Always steam it, iron it, whatever. Always do it, because it makes a big difference. My next tip is a given. I literally always, but remember to have fun. Remember to have fun. Get out your head. Just enjoy the moment and have fun. Pageants are meant to be fun. if you are stressed and anxious and worried about how your performance is, it's going to make your performance worse because you're so in your head that you're not executing fully, and it just damages you in the long run. So always just have fun and relax when on stage, because when you have fun, the judges see it in your face. And honestly, it's just have fun. Don't It's not always about the crown. I'm telling you, just have fun. This is one of my last tips, and that is just to remember to step back and breathe. Like, just take a minute. If you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, take a minute. Deep breaths in and out. Just breathe. Literally, it's gonna be okay. At the end of the day, there's always gonna be more pageants to do. Pageants you can gain so much experience from pageants, and they just make you more well-rounded in the future. So whenever you do want to do that same pattern again, and if you didn't win, you have more experience. The more experience, the better, honestly. So just take a step back and breathe. Have fun. Just take in the moment, because when you don't, it shows. It will always show. So yeah, that is my episode for today. I know it's a little short. I know she's a little short today, but I just wanted to give y'all something slight today, because I feel like this still needed to be talked about, because not enough people, maybe, I don't know, I guess this one is more for the parents, I guess, but also for the contestants. But have fun, enjoy the moment, enjoy your child walking on the stage. It's not always about winning, even though that's what people think pageants are for. But at the end of the day, it's about the memories that you make. Honestly, it's about the memories. Just be in the moment. So that is today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I got you guys next week. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening. And I still see you guys' comments. I really appreciate them. They're very encouraging. Thank you so much. It literally does not go unnoticed. Yeah, I may be a little late seeing them because I am an academic scholar first, but I do see them. So thank you. Yeah, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you so much. Bye, y'all. See you next week.